Hello, blast processors. We're still at UK Games Expo. I remember the proper name, and this is Jaro.
Hello.
That's the correct name in spelling.
Jaro, yes.
Jaro. You're Jaro. And now you are the big man, the boss, as it were, of Phalanx.
Well, one of the bosses. One of the owners. Yeah, it's three of us. There is Waldek as well, and Michał.
Right. But you are definitely in the top tier, though. You get your own car parking spot.
You know,
I'm trying to say, you are the man.
I am the man, yes,
Yeah.
I am the man. Yeah, we can say I'm the, you know, everybody has parts. So, you know, you need a brain, and I'm not the brain. Waldek is the brain. You need lungs.
Yeah.
But I'm not lungs. So I had a friend sitting there is lungs. And you need a heart.
All right.
So Phalanx is heart.
Right.
Put it this way.
You're running out of organs at this point, so it's kind of...
Yeah, there are other that I don't want to mention. Who's other parts, you know, I'll let you discover yourself.
Well, in discover ourselves, here on the table, we have one of your board games.
Yes, actually I'm not a designer, but I'm the publisher of this one. Yes.
Publisher of the game, yes. Which, just to make sure, we say board game, but it's a simulation game.
It's a thriller in a box.
A thriller in a box?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tagline and a half.
What we can agree on, it's a game.
Yes.
But I think it escapes actually a few categories.
That sounds good to me.
It is a board game. At the same time, it's a application-assisted board game, which puts it in it's a hybrid game, so it's a board game with an application. It wouldn't work without an application. Yeah. So it's a mix of two.
Right,
it is a board game, but actually it's not a board game because you have a 3D model on it, so it's not a board game because it's a 3D object game. So is it still a board game? Well, you don't have a board game. It's a tabletop game, you know. So trying to put things into boxes sometimes doesn't work, and it does not work with this one.
Right.
It is it's escaping the category actually. It's a board game with a 3D model on it, with minis, with cards, with application, with 1 to 4 players. Each of them plays different role. This is the board game where
as different role, they're actually crew members, aren't they?
Yeah, like commanders of sector crew members. Not but the one in charge of the U-boat. So you have a commander of the U-boat. You have a first officer. You have a navigator, and you have a chief mechanic. So those are the roles in the game.
Right.
And each of those persons is responsible for a sector of operations on the U-boat. So you know, this game also does away with the problem of alpha player in the cooperative games, because the alpha player is the commander, right? So that's the alpha player. Nothing's going to happen without an order from him. The navigator, if you have a person who does a little bit of sailing, he'll be very glad to do the tracking and of the boat's movement and actually plotting them. You need to plot it. It is a simulation, but at the same time it's a role-playing game. At the same time it's a thriller because it feels like that. It recreates the feeling of claustrophobia on the U-boat. It does through many different in many different ways. One of the ways is you don't see anything if you do not make an observation. Contrary to many computer games where you're on a boat, in a submarine, but you see everything around, does not work here. If you're submerged, you don't see anything.
I'm following. If you want contemplating the implications of this.
If you want to see anything, you need to bring the boat to the surface and then send people on a bridge so they can look around, or in the periscope, so you can see through the periscope what is the situation around. And actually, as you move your tablet or phone, it has a 0, so it will change the horizon and you'll see things.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see a destroyer, it's probably too close. So you probably crash dive. If you do, then application is actually starting to measure the sound level in the place in the room you're playing. If you're too loud, they will find you quicker, drop death charges at you, and basically send you to the bottom. So
you are listening for the background sound level?
Yes, you do. Yeah, it does.
It does. I'm just taking that on board as well. I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah, so that's, you know, as I say, it's going out of the box of if trying to put it in one of categories, it's just not fitting there.
No.
Because it's different.
I'll go with your description. It's a thriller in a box because it's downside easy to explain.
I call it underwater cooperative war thriller because it does all of this. Yeah, so that's what it is. And you know, while on the boat, you're fighting different threats. You may have fire, you may have chloride, you may have, you know, electric shock or flooding. Many things may happen on the U-boat, on the submarine, and all the outside world is being tracked by the application. But whatever happens on the submarine happens between the players there.
Nice. So the actual interaction between players is the submarine.
Yes, and there's you who's making decision where do you send your people, your watch. The watch may get tired. It will be replaced by other people after several hours with different characteristics. So it really feels like you're running a unit on the submarine, and you have a commander, you have a navigator. They make mistakes, it's human errors. People, you know, your people may get injured, or they may have, you know, psychological problems even. They may malnutrition. So you need to plan their meals as well.
It's definitely a cooperative thing because you've got to keep everybody
happy,
fighting fit.
Yeah, and working, and working, because the ultimate goal, you know, we may have that skewed perception of war, that it's kind of fun. This game is telling you it's not actually fun. You go for the mission because that's the orders you need to fulfill because you're in the army or navy.
That's the objective,
But you only want to do it in order to be able to track back home.
Yes.
And that is your ultimate objective. You want to go back home.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's what the game is all about. Going back home.
Going back home. I'm trying to take all this in because it's taking a game concept and putting it somewhere else. It's putting it into the realms of the real world while still being a game.
Yeah, it is still a game.
The app is integrated into this.
Yeah, and I think that is the genius of the designers, that they created an environment which is sealed, basically, and which in turn helps to create a claustrophobic feel for you, even if you're sitting in a nice room and there is windows. Yeah. You don't see through those windows because you're on a submarine.
Your world is that one section of the boat that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what sort of age group do you think could play this?
You know, the thing is, you may have the application supports different complications, like different levels. Yeah. You may set difficulty for different players at different levels. So difficulty 1, you may have if somebody who just came in and wants to learn. If an expert player, as a navigator, set his difficulty at maximum, and so.
Nice. So,
yes. You can probably start, you know, at around 12 if you want to be chief mechanic, who is just running around with boxes of tools and fixing stuff. If you want to do the navigator's job, it's good to have an idea of how do you plot courses and adjust speeds. Younger players would love the role of the first officer, who's just interacting with the app. That's his role. So you can probably have a 10-year-old player there, excited, like, what's the bearing, what's the course, what's the speed, and so on and so on. And and the guy who is the most experienced probably captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Wonderful. And all of that is in the box.
Yeah, it is all the box. Of course, you can pimp your game up, adding the components like resin, so it is more colorful. But everything you need to play is in the box.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
It is. I was quite taken aback when I saw this last year, but I wasn't able to go back. And so today, when I walked past and thought, that's what I saw last year, I was interested. And the more I'm learning about what this is, the more impressed I am. But it's also very hard to describe. You did really quite a job. The thrill of the box. So, this is widely available for most game stores in the UK, I trust?
Yes, yes. Actually, this is the first day the game goes to retail. So
I timed this well, haven't I?
Yeah, because we've just finished sending the games to the backers. So that was the requirement we had. Like we promised we've made. We won't be selling that in retail before everyone gets it, who was backing it. So thank you everyone for helping us. Yeah, it was crowdfunded. Oh. So thank you everyone for helping us. I hope you enjoy the game. And yeah, see you on the seas.
See you on the seas. Is there any more future plans to take this further, or is this development not complete? Because you've got different types of submarine?
The game comes with 10 scenarios, from the introductory one to more experienced, more demanding ones. And the natural tease is to expand that list to go for missions that were famous or legendary even. So that is the first thing that comes to mind, give them more scenarios. This is probably where we go into.
Excellent.
And then sky's the limit. You may have different boats, different maps, and so on and so on.
Well, the sky's the limit. The sky's the horizon. You can sail anywhere you want now.
True. Well, no, you have a limit because you can only sail on the Northern Sea now.
Yeah.
But if there is enough interest and support for the project, we may create missions where you go to Japan. They did.
Yeah. Right. That's wonderful. Now, I take you got a website that people can find more information. Is it phalanxgames.co.uk? Right, that's one big word.
Phalanxgames.co.uk.
Right, we'll put that in the description as well.
Thank you.
If we're clever enough, we might put it on screen.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It would be nice. That's giving the editor a bit of a nightmare. I'm expecting that. Give them work.
No, I think if you Google Phalanx,
it's on his chest.
Yeah, that'd be enough. Yeah, probably.
Google his chest.
If you do Phalanx and do games, they'll probably pop up as the first one.
Oh, that's fame for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoy your show.
I do. I hope you do.
Oh, indeed. and that's a great game.
Thank you.
I saw it last. I had to come back. Well, thank you very much. And
thank you for watching.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.